Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you could just come a little bit closer to the front. And could I ask the members of the Chancellor's Electoral Board to come up and just stand behind me here? Very good. That's wonderful. Folks, thank you so much for coming today as we welcome the new Chancellor of Lakehead University. Just a delightful occasion. I would like to begin by acknowledging the original custodians of this land and to pay my respect to the elders. I would also like to acknowledge that this gathering is being held on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe people and of the Rama First Nation, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture, and the hopes of Aboriginal people. We're joined this afternoon by a number of dignitaries, and I'd just like to mention the names of the dignitaries before we begin our formal proceedings. Warden Jerry Marshall is with us here. Mayor Steve Clark from the City of Orillia is here. Mayor Mike Burkett is standing in between Steve and Jerry over there, and Catherine Rippey from our Board of Governors is standing here just to my left. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President and Vice-Chancellor of Lakehead University, Dr. Brian Stevenson.
Well, thank you all for being here. I really wanted to have an opportunity to welcome our Chancellor and for you to start meeting our Chancellor, and to be able to really get to know her the way that we're getting to know her. So I want to thank you all for joining us today for this special reception, so that you can meet our next Chancellor in person and have an opportunity to talk to her. I had the pleasure of working with the Electoral Board as chair of the Chancellor's Electoral Board, and for those of you who don't know, the Lakehead University Act has a section in it that establishes the Electoral Board, and it is 12 individuals who are nominated by the Senate and 12 individuals that are nominated by the Board of Governors, and the chair of that the Chancellor's Electoral Board is luckily the President and Vice-Chancellor. So we considered and deliberated over who would be the ninth Chancellor, and we did begin by setting our goals high, as they should be, knowing that we were looking for the titular head of the university. Our Chancellor, and I can say Lynn because you all know she's here, will serve in many important roles at the university, conferring degrees to thousands of our graduates in our campuses, both here in Orillia and in Thunder Bay. She will serve as a proud champion and emissary, and she will provide support and guidance and counsel for our various initiatives and goals for years to come. So on behalf of the Chancellor's Electoral Board, I can assure you that we found a very special person when we found Lynn. Lakehead's next Chancellor was elected to the Ontario Legislature in 1987, representing the riding of Fort William, Thunder Bay, Atikokan until 2003. She has held positions of Minister of Colleges and Universities, Minister of Energy, and Minister of Natural Resources. Lynn was leader of the Ontario Liberal Party from 1992 to 1996, and the first woman to be elected leader of a political party in Ontario. Since her retirement from elected office, and I say retirement. Lynn has served as chair of the Ontario Health Quality Council. She was the Ontario representative on the Health Council of Canada, and she was a member and vice chair of the Ontario Power Authority. Lynn is past chair of the Board of Governors at Confederation College in Thunder Bay, and is a former member of the board of the Thunder Bay Regional Research Institute, which is the institute between the regional hospital in Thunder Bay and the university. She is a fellow of Lakehead University and a proud alumna of Lakehead University. Chair of the New Path, an agency that provides children's mental health services in Simcoe County. And she is a member of the Board of Governors of Georgian College. And just as I said that, Marilyn Westmoynes arrived. She was waiting outside until I said that. So just for those of you who can't see her, she was out there pacing up and down until we gave her the signal. Lynn was awarded, sorry if it sounds like you were late, but I know you were on time. So, Lynn was awarded the Order of Ontario in 2014. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Chancellor's Electoral Board, it is my privilege to introduce to you Lakehead University's 9th Chancellor, Lynn McLeod.
Thank you, Brian, and hello, Marilyn. I know you weren't late, and I know that you've gotten off a sickbed to join us this afternoon, so good to see you. And good to see everybody here. I would just like to echo Brian's words in saying that this is a beginning opportunity for me to get to know so many of you. I'm slowly getting to know more people in Simcoe County, although it's still relatively new for me. It's wonderful to be joined by colleagues from Georgian College. And I think that the fact that so many are here speaks to the linkages that are already developing between Lakehead University and Georgian College. I can tell you I am extremely proud to be the new Chancellor-elect actually until the end of May, of Lakehead University. For me, it goes back to the fact that Lakehead University gave me an opportunity to go back to school as a mature student. It was an opportunity I would not have had if there had not been a university campus in Thunder Bay. And I really valued that opportunity, and I believe very strongly in the importance of providing access. And I see the kind of access that Lakehead has continued to provide in northwestern Ontario, and now see that kind of access being provided to people here in Simcoe County. And I certainly get a sense early on, having moved to Simcoe County, of how important this university and this campus is to this region. I got a very clear sense of that and they're looking to support the growth of Lakehead Orillia campus and its presence in Simcoe County. So that's very exciting to be part of. It's and to see the kind of growth happening here on this campus, the innovative programs. I was at a chancellor's dinner a couple of years ago and learned a little bit more about the kinds of innovations that are happening. I just, a few minutes ago, sat down in the telepresence lab. Do you call it a lab or a classroom? A classroom? A telepresence classroom. And it was all I could do, as much as I wanted to meet you all, to pull myself away and not be part of the lecture that was going on, because that's another very exciting development. And it's an area in which Lakehead is leading. It's an area in which access is being expanded for students in the interests of students, and that's pretty wonderful. I've also been very excited as I've learned more about the focus that Lakehead has taken on Aboriginal education, outreach to First Nations communities, and Indigenous studies for everybody who participates in a Lakehead University education. It's wonderful to see the artwork. I'm going to stay for a few minutes and just be able to enjoy the artwork. And I understand that this room is actually named after a woman who was very committed to the outreach to Aboriginal students and to Indigenous education. So it's wonderful to me to see that being continued and expanded through Lakehead. And I guess, you know, I've had a couple of reporters ask me since this announcement has been made, well, what are your priorities? What would your priorities be? One of them certainly is that Aboriginal outreach. That's been an issue of concern for me since my early days as Minister of Colleges and Universities. And the other issue that's really important to me, and one of the main reasons, as my Georgian College colleagues know, one of the main reasons why I joined Georgian College is because of the partnership that's developing between Lakehead and Georgian. I felt strongly about linkages between universities and colleges from my days as the minister. I felt strongly about it because what I heard from students was that they wanted to see those linkages, that they were frustrated by the relative, at that time, isolation of universities and colleges from each other. And I shouldn't go on, but I can actually remember relatively small communities where the presidents of the college and the universities had never even met each other. To see this partnership developing is truly exciting for me. It's exciting for me as a member of the Board of Governors of Georgian. It's exciting for me as the Chancellor of elect of Lakehead. I believe that there is a leadership role being provided provincially in the development of these partnerships. I think we're the trendsetters. I think that this is really the hub of the future direction of post-secondary education. So I am truly excited to be part of that and to support and further it in any way that I can. So I look forward to meeting you all, to getting to know you better, and to continuing the wonderful work that's being done here at Lakehead and in Simcoe County.
Lynn, thank you so much. There's a number of people here who also want to bring a welcome to you, and I'd like to introduce the Warden of Simcoe County, Jerry Marshall.
Thanks, everybody. I open every speech when I come here with I Heart Lakehead University, so I thought it appropriate I brought some buttons today that actually remind us of that. Dean and Brian. So those who have heard me speak know that I always open those statements. So, and the reason I do love this university is, to your point, it is a trendsetter. It fits the county of Simcoe. It walks lockstep with a lot of our initiatives, a lot of our ambitious goals in the county as we roll it out across 18 municipalities. I think the population, the student base here is about 45% of the students here are actually from the county of Simcoe, and there's students, I think, from every municipality. And the importance of that is the fact that our students, a lot of them didn't get to go to university previously simply because it wasn't an opportunity. Now they can commute here, they can travel here. You know, I've got folks from our independent tank machine that actually have parents who work in Orillia, drop them off on the way in, pick them up on the way home. It just works, it just fits. So welcome aboard, congratulations, and I look forward to many years of working with you. Congrats again.
I'd now like to introduce the Mayor of the City of Orillia, Steve Clark, who also wants to welcome you.
Thanks very much, Kim. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of myself and the rest of council. And I was saying to Lynn just a few moments ago, I was speaking to a group earlier today, and as I do anytime I have a chance to speak, I talk about the wonderful assets we have within this community and around this community, and I always finish off and talk about Lakehead University. And I also have Georgian College in that scenario as well, because I believe, as Lynn has indicated, that partnerships are very, very important. Lakehead brings an amazing cultural benefit to our community. It helps define who we are as a people, and certainly the spin-off benefit of that is the economic driver that Lakehead is within our community. So that doesn't go unnoticed on an ongoing basis. But certainly to our new Chancellor, welcome to the Sunshine City. When the weather cooperates, it's actually a municipal responsibility, so today we'll take some credit for that. When it's not, it's you can see Mr. Stanton or somebody else. I think this is an opportune time for you to join from Orillia's perspective. There's lots going on within the city, lots going on within Lakehead with an expected double of an enrollment in the next 7 years or so. And as I saw Brian Stevenson come up here at the beginning, I'm going, man, that guy looks svelte. Anyway? So it's either that the pressure of the last few years and the potential of other post-secondary institutions in the area has now gone by the wayside, and Brian's now able to actually relax, or that the Chancellor's job actually is good for your physical and mental being. So whatever it happens to be, welcome to Orillia, and whatever chance we have to work together, I'm looking forward to it.
I'd now like to introduce Mary Lynn Westmoynes, the president of Georgian College, our great partner.
Well, hello down there. There's quite a crowd. So let me begin on behalf of Tom McBride, Brian, to tell you how delighted we are to be invited to participate in this. Tom's out of the country, and in our world, that's code for he's somewhere where it's a hell of a lot warmer than it is here right now. But I'm just delighted that we do have a couple board members with us. Dawn Gordon is here, I see. And I know Bruce Naylor, who is our board member from Orillia, was hoping to be here. But those of you who know Bruce know he's been struggling with an illness. So if he couldn't be here, his hope was to be here, Lynn. So that's great. And a number of Georgian staff. In my 1 minute, I want to tell you about the Lynn McLeod that I've known for many, many years. Don't ever assume her height has anything to do with her might. She's smart, she's strategic, and she has integrity. And I can't think of any more relevant or appropriate values to bring to being a chancellor of a university. So when I had heard that there was a niggling of an intent for this to happen, I fully embraced it and felt it was just such a wonderful thing for Lakehead on its own as an institution, but what has already been said, that it starts to formalize just such a good relationship that we have between Lakehead and Georgian to move forward. So as a member of our board, and on behalf of the other members of our board, we're just delighted that you've chosen to do this, Lynn. As someone who spends my life making money serving students, I can tell you, you have just found a chancellor who has one clear focus: students, students, students. And I don't think life could be any better than that. All the best.
That concludes the formal welcomings, but on behalf of Lakehead Orillia, Lynn, I just wanted to welcome you to this wonderful campus that would not have been possible without the efforts of the very people who are in this room. You and I have known each other for 30 years in various capacities, and you know the communities that this university has been serving so well, but this particular community, the way it's embraced Lakehead University and supported Lakehead University is just astonishing. I've never seen anything like it. Partnership is something that's just really developed what we're doing here, and the partnership that we have with Georgian. This is one of the most innovative partnerships in the province. It really is pointing the future direction for post-secondary education in the country. Colleges and universities often have a difficult time working together, as we both know, And this partnership is really moving in the most positive directions. We could not have a better new chancellor than Lynn McLeod. Welcome to Lakehead Orillia. Colleagues, there's lots of opportunity for us to mingle and to chat. And there's coffee and lovely cookies and biscuits here, so please stay and get to know our new chancellor. Thank you for coming.